So hey everyone, welcome back to Rebecca's Colouring Arts and Crafts. So today I'm going to continue a little bit with a piece of Millie Marotta's Wildlife Wonders Frogs and Shrooms image. So you will notice I haven't yet finished this last little flat piece of the mushroom. I kind of forgot I still had to do that, and so I'm obviously going to have to catch up on that off camera. I've got a few pieces as I was going through things today that I realised, oh, okay, I've got to catch up on that little bit off camera, that little bit off camera, that little bit off camera. So I'm still trying to get back to the recording stuff as well as I'm trying to do stuff off camera. I'm also hoping, if I can, to do something for this friend's exhibition, but see how I go time-wise and stuff like that. So yeah, so it's kind of going to be interesting to see how I can go about all this, because I've got a lot to sort of catch up off camera, a lot to record on camera. I had sort of set up a rough schedule that I want to follow, which is why I kind of want to try and get things recorded in advance. But yeah, I'm just going to have to play it by ear and see how it all goes, because I guess I didn't realise I had quite as much as I thought I had with some of this stuff going. So yeah, I guess I've got a lot more than I realised that I needed to do, and a lot to catch up off camera, a lot to do on camera, a lot to record. I have been set back a lot by doing the colouring competition, which I'm still working on speed colourings of that, and eventually I will get a tutorial done on that too. So yeah, just bear with me, and with time I am sure I will get to it. It's just, yeah, time to do everything, and I've also got my book reviews that I need to read and do as well. So yeah, I've got a lot that I have to do and try and catch up on. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to continue here with our Millie Marotta Frogs and Shrooms with our Caran Luminance 6901 pencils. So I'm going to start with these little shrooms here today. I haven't totally decided on the colour of their stems yet. I know these are different, but I at least want to do these three in the same colour, because I'm trying to change the colour depending on the shroom with the type of colour used. So I'm just going to check it is all in frame, and I'm going to shift those pencils out of the way from under there so that I definitely know it's in frame. Check she's all focused. And yeah, so I'm going to start with some olivey tones this time, because I've sort of gone the oranges and the browns and sort of want to go foresty colours. So I'm going to come in with a raw umber first this time, and I think I remember, if I remember correctly, our light source is coming from this direction, looking at all the other shadows, because I haven't confused them. So our light source would be coming down this way, so it'll be hitting the top of these shrooms a lot more than the bottom of some of these, but then obviously some will still have shadows because of the overlap and things. Bear with me too, I am still working with this, and I need to push that brace bit back in. The metal keeps slipping out. It does make it a lot more awkward and take things a lot longer, but yeah, we do our best. I got very annoyed with the Beauty of Horror colouring that I was doing the other day. Trying to record in advance. I'm not sure if these are all going to come out in order or not. I have no idea what sort of order they're going to come out in yet. I'm going to try and stick to the order that I was sort of starting to plan. But yeah, I guess we'll see as time goes. So we're going to come in with our raw umber, and I'm sort of doing more, I guess, olivey tones for these shrooms, and I'm trying to leave a little bit of our light source area for blending the next colour in as well. And I still want a bit of that shadow, that's why I'm doing one side with the, I guess, the tippy top kind of thing. And I just want to deepen some of those areas because they all look the same currently. So I'm trying to do my best, but it doesn't feel up to the usual standard that I do things because of the brace, and it makes it a lot more awkward because I can't get things into the positions that I may want them particularly. So yeah, I guess I'll just have to do my best to work around it. But yeah, I hope you'll enjoy it anyway, and yeah. I just had to give myself carpal tunnel though, didn't I? But yeah. I hope you'll enjoy it all anyway, and enjoy these colour along parts, and yeah, I'll just keep working on it and eventually I'll get them all done. I've just got a lot to do off camera because I've got to do Mythomorphia. I've got to finish the snakes for that off camera. I've got to finish the background for Beauty of Horror 2 off camera from the little bit that I finished, because it was taking me so long last night with this brace and stuff that it was at about 4 hours and I still couldn't see myself getting it finished just yet. So I decided to finish it at about that time and do the last of it off camera. I also discovered there are some leaves that I need to do off camera for Joanna Bassett's Magical Jungle Elephant duo spread that I've been working on my channel. And then I've also discovered now that I need to finish this flat mushroom sort of thing off camera as well for Millie Marotta's Wildlife Wonders, but I decided to just do the next part of the mushrooms currently, and then I can work on those because we'll have visitors and stuff tonight, so, and my mum will be here and the TV will be on and stuff, so I can work on those things whilst TV's on and stuff, whereas I can't really record while the TV is on and that, so I decided to, shall we say, work on recording something whilst I could, and then work on the bits that I can do off camera, whilst there's people here or whilst TV's going and blah blah blah. So I'm just going to do a very sort of teeny area around these back spots with our raw umber, just to get the colour tone in there, but because that'll be mostly light, we don't want a lot of it, just like a single streak with a little bit of our light source sort of area. And I just want to bring this side up a bit to meet with those shadows. But yeah, I hope you'll enjoy it anyway. But yeah, so I'll keep working on those bits off camera and you will eventually be able to, shall we say, see them finished on YouTube, because I do have intentions of finishing it all. It's just the time factor. So yeah, we'll get there. So now I'm going to continue with all of these mushrooms with our raw umber. Obviously around this mushroom there would be some bits of shadows because we have the other mushroom on top of it, so there would obviously be some shadows around where the shroom sort of goes. So around these areas I'm going to have some little bits of shadows. And I will do a background in here. after I've sort of coloured the images, when I sort of work out exactly the sort of swampy sort of background that I want to go with the colours that I've used. I kind of, this time I know sometimes I draw the backgrounds first, this time I kind of want to do the colours of the shrooms in all the colours that I want, like swampy colours, earthy colours, foresty sort of colours, but probably a lot more swampy colours with some bright colours, and then I want to work out how I'm going to proceed with the background after that. But yeah, I hope you'll enjoy it. I really do. And so obviously these upper areas, obviously there's not going to be much of a shadow colour there. Because there's going to be more light on the top. I just want a little bit to show that there is a bit of shadow down the side there. Whoops. Trying not to mess things up too much if you can avoid it, like I almost did with this brace thing. But yeah, I've just got to learn to work around it. Oops, hang on, I've done something wrong there. Yes, I have. Let's see, I don't know that it will erase, but we shall try a little bit. No, it's not really going to erase. Kind of figured there wasn't really much point to that, but figured may as well try it. It's still going to kind of go up that way anyway because of where the shadows sort of meet there, and then I'm going to reduce it down as we get down here. I am. I'm going to reduce the height of those shadows a bit. No, this is so, yeah. I'm going over the lines a lot more than usual because of this brace, and it's annoying me. I know it's what I have to work with, but yeah. Doesn't mean it's not annoying. And then we got one more up top here. But I want to make sure I'm covered with that colour with our raw umber. So first we're gonna one advantage, I guess, is that you're able to see it all a lot more clearly with my hand not being able to be bent in the ways that I need to do the image properly. So this one I think will have slightly different because the light is still coming from this way, but at the same time my flower's tilted on a slightly different angle. Just looking at it. So I'm going to have to think about that and how I'm going to proceed as I work my way up towards that area. Yeah, start going over. So I'm going to start reducing the length of the shadows in that spot. I'm cutting them down because there'll obviously be a lot more light on this side with this image, with this mushroom. Swap the position slightly. Yeah. I may do more than one lot of shrooms, I'm not sure, I haven't fully decided yet. And whoops, that's probably a little far, but it's not going to erase easily, so no point trying to erase it, really. And that one was a little too far too. Whoops. Oh, what's going on with you today, brain? So I'm just going to do this one a little bit more around just the tippy area because of where the light is coming from. There we go, there's that little bit. Now what I want to do is I want to come in with my Caran Luminance olive brown, is it? And we want to bring that over our previous raw umber colour. So we're really sort of going for like a greenish sort of brownish coloured mushroom here. We are. So real sort of swamp sort of colours. I went way over the lines there. Trying not to take up all our space with the final colour if we can avoid it, because we want to leave white space, because I've still got two more colours that I want to put in these mushrooms yet. I do. So probably more of our really lighter tones will probably start coming out when we add the next colour in. We will. they'll really start coming out with our next colours. Sort of considering if I can whilst I'm at it today, I might try and do a few of the little shroom things that we've got here. I may even do them all in similar colours to the colours that I'm using now. I'll see. I think I'd like to adjust them slightly. I'm not sure of the colour of the stems that I want to do yet, because I kind of want to finish the mushroom tops before I decide on the stem colour, because they're all sort of the same sort of stem, so I may change them slightly depending on the shroom colour that I do and things like that, but we'll see. They're all kind of different patterns though, which kind of makes me want to do them all a bit differently, but at the same time kind of similar, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'm thinking like purpley brown maybe would be nice for one of the bigger types. Maybe the one underneath the green froggy here. I don't know. I haven't fully decided. I'll see how time goes anyway as to what I do. Because I know there's not always a lot when it's just the one type of shroom in the one type of video kind of thing, so it won't hurt to have the odd longer parts showing you what I'm doing. I may even just do this, even though they're different patterns, I'm thinking I may even do them just similar colour tones, just because it's not going to hurt. They're going to look different anyway. And yeah, anyway, I'm just going to pause. I've just noticed the battery's flashing and about to die. So I will pause and I will be back once I change the battery. So hey everyone, I'm back. So I've kind of been changed the battery. At least I noticed this time before it died for a change. So I've been thinking about it whilst I do it, and I think I have decided, I'm just checking I've got the right colour. I think I've decided these ones I will continue with like our olivey tones here, and then I think these ones here I'm going to add in like some purpley brown tones I'm thinking, and same for a purpley brown tone for this mushroom. These three big ones here, I'll probably do them a bit different, but there's a couple over near our green froggy here too that are the same as these that I think I will continue in these tones, but I'm going to finish our three main larger mushrooms first, and then I will continue on with those mushrooms. I think I'm going to try and do more than one shroom this time for this part, so that we've got a little more progress. I'm just quickly going to shut the door. It's getting a little chilly. It's warming up and getting more towards summer, and I didn't have the heater on today, but it still cools down at night. So I'm going to come back in again with my Caran Luminance Olive Brown, and I'm going to finish off these shrooms first, and then yeah, I'll go on to these ones after. So I think I'm going to work on these and these ones. I'll decide the stems after. Obviously it'll probably be olivey browns and stuff, but or olivey tones, but yeah, I'll work it out after. Doesn't mean I have to decide for certain right now, because as you know, I regularly change my mind whilst I'm doing what I'm doing. And yeah, I'll obviously, there's a couple of ones over here near this green frog that are the same that I'll probably change, add olive tones into them, and then I will like they're different patterns, but I think, yeah, I'll add the olive tones into those ones over there as well, and then like purpley browns in these and a purpley brown in this one. But yeah, I'll keep thinking about it and working on it, and yeah, I'm gonna try and do more than one type this part though. It may mean that it's longer than the hour or the half an hour to an hour videos, but yeah, I just want to show a bit of progress with these images because I know I've been behind because of the colouring competition and all of those sorts of things, and yeah. So, something to keep working on, I guess. I think at least I'm finally starting to find a way to work around the brace, even though it still hurts and is awkward and not the right thing. At least I am seeming to start to find a way to work around it so I can keep doing my art either way. Which is awesome. I may have to change my order slightly, I'm not sure, just to do with videos I have done, but I haven't actually edited anything yet, so excuse me for that. We will get there. I just really wanted to try and get some stuff recorded in advance if I could, and then keep getting it in advance for when I have future surgery and when I have like unexpected, like that Faber-Castell competition come up and all of those sorts of things, because I didn't have anything in advance for during that time, and so I was trying to upload. I didn't get them all up, obviously I've still got more speed colouring parts to come, but yeah, I didn't have anything ready for the other bits and pieces whilst that time was there, so yeah, something to keep working on anyway. Yeah. But I am working towards that now. Like, I was going to go in a photography exhibition, but I've got to hand colour a whole image. I'm tossing up whether I'm going to have time to do that in 2 weeks with the way my wrist is and my hand is, and I'm sort of, I would love to enter it, but I'm not sure how it's going to go with the way things are currently with my wrist, and I don't want to overdo it because I'm still having some issues even using the brace, and whilst it's helped with things like the numbness and the tingling and stuff that I'm getting, I don't want to overdo it so much that I do really make things even more worse than they already are. So yeah, something that I'm still considering about, because my name was in the paper saying I would be in this thing, and it's like, that was before I knew about the Faber-Castell pencil competition for Australians only, and I really wanted to enter that to try and win pencil material. Like, it's not guaranteed or anything, but if you don't enter, obviously you've got no chance. And so yeah, it's all, I'm trying to decide how I'm going to go about that, or whether I'm going to still try and get that done or not. I am. So I might actually leave those ones for now. I don't think I'm going to do the same. I was thinking I'm going to do the same colours as these, but I think now I'm just going to leave these smaller ones in case I want to do them as a different sort of colour tone. Like I may want to do like more of a browny cream, or I don't know what tone I would like to do them, but I'm thinking I'm just going to leave them because I don't want to have too much olive in the one spot. So like, it's not that I don't mind the olive, and obviously I'm going for the swampy colours. I'm thinking of doing like a swampy style background, like swampy themed background, and drawing that on later once I've finished it and worked out the colours, so that I can work the background in suitably with the colours. But right now I think I'm just going to leave these three with these tones for now, and then I may change my mind for what colour I do after I do because I want to do these purpley browns. I think I'm going to do these three shrooms with like the olivey green sort of mushroom stems to suit the type of mushroom I'm colouring them to be. I am. But I'll do that after I finish these parts. So now what I want to do is it's just checking the time, I want to come in with an olive yellow. So this is where our lighter tones are going to come into these mushrooms. So we want to bring our olive yellow in, and we're obviously going to bring that over all the colour tones. And I've got a fourth colour that I'm kind of thinking I would like to add, so I'm going to try and leave some space for that colour. Wow, you can see a lot of I'm having to wipe a lot of like pencil shaving smudging sort of off at the minute. I didn't realise these pencils did so much of that. Like I know the Prismacolor does a lot. Polychromos does a little bit of it, but I notice it mostly rubs off as you rub your hand on it. It sort of tends to come off more when you rub your hand on it. But yeah, I guess it's because I'm adding more and more colour layers, and so as I add the colour layers in, that blends into that colour and peels off some of the other areas, I'm guessing. I'm guessing that's what it is. I'm not totally sure why that happens, but I'm assuming. I don't normally, you probably would have noticed I don't normally use olivey tones much in that. Like, even though I was intending to use more like these olivey tones and stuff in the Jonah Basford elephant spread, I've noticed I haven't tended to stick to that. I tend to go with what my colour sense tells me to do and play with that. So I haven't really ever followed more of those sort of swampy tones like I keep intending to do, and so I guess this does have some bright colours, but it is more following like those swampy sort of tones that I'm interested in seeing. Like you could have more of the bluey greens in parts of the swamp, or you could have more, but I kind of would really like to make this one swampy tones without getting really distracted. Like obviously the frogs would be bright colours, but I kind of want to make it more swampy tones without getting too distracted by my bright colours and stuff, which always seems to happen with me. Yeah, I kind of think it would be fun to do something that is out of my comfort zone and not something that I would normally do. But with this one, it's kind of being mushrooms, it's kind of in its own way, forcing me to step out of my comfort zone and sort of do more sort of, like I could do bright shrooms or do really psychedelic or fantasy-esque style mushrooms or any of that, but I just kind of really want to see what I can do with these sort of more olivey, greeny tone, olivey sort of browny purple tones, and just see where I can go with it, because I always tend to choose the really bright colours. Like I chose bright coloured frogs. I obviously chose to make these sort of orange mushrooms brighter tones, but that's because I was looking online and there is mushrooms that actually look like that. But I would really like to play more with like these olivey browns or purpley browns, or just colours that aren't particularly the brightest colours, because for me, I always choose bright colours. Like I guess there is some semblance of bright colours in here with our colour that we're currently adding, but it's still like those olivey tones and stuff like that, because obviously we have the olives first, so it is kind of something that I guess I want to try playing around with, because my first choice is to automatically go bright colours. So and people like my bright colours, and I like using bright colours, and yeah, I'll always choose odd colour combos for bright colours and blah blah blah, but it doesn't hurt to sometimes push yourself and try something a bit different either, which is what I kind of want to do here with this image if I can, because I said I wanted to do that with Joanna Bastard's elephant, and yeah, that hasn't worked out quite that way. It hasn't, but that is not a bad thing. You've got to go with your gut and what your colour sense tells you to do. For this one, I'm just really thinking like a swamp style background, and so I really want to use those sort of more swampy colours in this image for something a little different of mine, along with like the bright pops of the frogs and those sorts of things. So it's going to be fun, I think. I think it will be. I think I'm probably actually going to change. I was going to use like a more brighter green for the final colour, but I think I'm actually going to change the colour tone to more of a yellowy sort of tone, just to really mesh in with this, because I'm quite liking how these olivey coloured tones are coming together. I am, and I kind of think that would probably work a little better than, like, say, a bright green kind of thing. Now that I'm seeing it all coming together, like I did a tester in my art book, as I usually do, and played around with things. But obviously, as you go, as I've said, I tend to change my mind a lot as I do things. So you get our final little shroomy up here to do with this colour. And then I'm probably going to pause and find a final colour for those. Then we'll do the stems, and then I think I'm going to work on the purpley browny shrooms I want to do down here. I think I'd also like to do this one purpley brown if I have the time, but see on time. At least finish these ones, do the stems, and then do these ones. These I'll obviously work out later on, but yep, something to work towards. But yeah, I'll finish this colour here, and then I will go on and find our final colour that I want. I think will be some sort of pale yellow. Made that one a little too much. I was trying to do a little bit of the light area on it, and I think I made it a bit too much of the green there. Maybe not. It'll work. I'll just work with it. I'm trying not to overdo the greeny areas so that I've still got space for our final colour, but sometimes doing the lighter shadow to allow it to blend properly does take up more space once you've done it. But I guess we just work with that. So there we go. I'm just going to pause there. I'm going to find my final colour, and I'm going to think about, because the stems are so skinny, I'm thinking since I still want a bit of the light source there, I'm probably not going to use all the colours, but I've got to think about the two colours that I'll probably use. Probably it'll be the brown and like this olive yellow, but I will work it out. So anyway, I'm going to pause there and I will be back shortly. So hey everyone, I'm back. So I'm going to continue here with finishing our final colour on these shrooms and then look into completing the stems. So I'm actually going to come in with our Caran Luminance, and I'm going to come in with a lemon yellow to finish this off. So I just want to obviously bring in that lemon yellow all the way down into these colours. So we just bring it into that greenish olive and everything. I'm still not totally sure of the stems yet, so I think I'm going to leave them till it sort of comes to me. And obviously I can always include the stems on another video. But right now I'll continue with obviously our brownish purplish shrooms, which I've picked out the colours. I'm not sure if all 5 colours are going to fit in them, but we shall see. We shall see what we can do. They're not quite as large as these shroomies, but who knows what we can do. We can only try. We can. I just coloured that bit, but obviously I didn't. I like that. Quite nice. I'm just trying to wipe off the pencil shaving bits that are coming off as I go so that they don't smudge all everywhere. I am as well. I have to change the spot again. Wish I could just bend my wrist like I normally could. Getting the shavings all over the pencil lead here. I can see it smudging a bit into the colour as I do it, but it's not necessarily bad anyway because it's meant to have bits of that colour in there, but it's not what I'm particularly trying to do either. I guess sometimes happy accidents happen. But I'm also trying to wipe it off. I've got a lot of yellowy greeny colours on here from trying to wipe those excess shavings off the pencil as well. I do. Second shroomy done. I quite like those colours. I don't normally use those colours, but I quite like how it's come together. I do. Sorry, I just got to pause. I've got to get that phone call. See everyone, I'm back. Just had to get that because my sister's coming up tonight to visit for a bit, so I had to kind of, shall we say, answer that call. For some reason my phone has started telling me who it is when the phone calls come in, and I've never had that happen before, so I don't even know how it's happened because I haven't set it up. So yeah, it's weird. It's really weird. So yes, something new that I have no idea how it even happened or how it was even set up because I didn't do it. So yeah. But yes, work with it how it happens, I guess. I just have no idea how my phone even set it up to say who was calling when it came in from my things because I didn't set it up. So my phone's done something that I didn't tell it to do again. And hello, Lils. What are you pestering for, huh? You want your food? You want your food, huh? Well, it's gonna have to wait a minute while I finish this with them. For the nice peoples. Yes! You bastard! You bastard procrastinator, huh? Yeah, you. Oh, I just realised I still haven't done the frog's eyes yet. Oh well, guess I'll do them all at once, kind of thing. Yeah, Lils is hassling me. Just what I need right now. What are you doing, Prada? Prada, pasta westa. What are you doing? You're smelling bits at times too. She has a bath, but she still stinks at times. She's probably going to need another bath again soon. She's probably found something outside and rolled in it, like usual. If she can find something smelly, she'll do it. Like, she's out at the farm, out at my grandparents' farm after, and I still gave her a decent wash. But she still smelt even after that wash, and so thinking it's coming up to time for maybe another bath for her. Thinking? Either that or she just let off under my nose again like she usually does. But yes, so that's our little olivey greeny yellow mushrooms. So now I want to come in and try, I'm hoping I can work all these colours into these shroomies here, but I kind of want to do like a browny purple coloured shroom. I might even end up, actually I can probably remove one of those colours to make it more purpley toned. So I'm going to actually put that one back because I'm not going to use it, And that way I've only got 4 colours to try and fit in a small space. Yeah, I'm challenging myself again, aren't I? So I'm really going to try and zoom in a lot more since it's a lot smaller space for this one. Trying not to slide my book off the thing at the same time. So yeah, so the first colour I want to come in with here is Caran Luminance, and I want to bring in a sepia tone. So our light source is still coming from this area, so obviously our shadows will be at this side. We obviously want it a bit lighter, and we want some of those shadows that are coming up each of these little line areas here. And we're going to obviously have overlaps where the shadows overlap from the mushrooms and stuff. So we obviously still want to try and include those in there, but we want to try and leave space for our shadows as well. And there's a few in there that don't have the lines. I guess I'll just do them similar, but without those little streaky lines, just how they are. How they are. Trying to do this with a sharp pencil, but I'm not doing very well at keeping it skinny lined at the minute, just because I'm a bit awkward. It might be easier for you because it won't be so awkward because you don't have the brace holding your wrist in place. Hopefully, anyway. Hopefully none of you are injured as well. Hopefully you aren't. So, yeah. I hope you're enjoying this anyway. I hope you are. And I should probably pause and feed Lils because she's going to keep hassling me otherwise. So I'm just going to pause and quickly do that. And yeah, I will then be back with you. This is really awkward doing these small areas with the brace, but I'll get there. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to pause quickly and then I will be back in a minute. So hey everyone, I'm back. So I'm going to do a little more here and then I'll probably end it at this part and continue with these shrooms next part. I'll see, I've just got to get some dinner on shortly, but yeah, so I'm going to continue here with my sepia and I'm going to continue doing our areas sort of around where we've got shadows and up our little line areas, and where there's no lines, obviously just as they are kind of thing. So I'll probably just stop and pause in between and then get some dinner in to cook, and then I can keep going. It depends on when people start to get here, kind of thing, as to whether I'll finish at this part or not. So and there goes Lil's barking again, like usual. Leos! So I'm trying to do little bits of shading where I can, but like the light shading kind of thing so that we can allow it to blend, but it's not going to work quite so well being smaller area, so just do the best I can because I don't want to fill up all of the areas that I need because I've got 4 colours I want to try and fit in here, so it's kind of going to be a tight squeeze as it is, so I'm not too worried about having to have like a lighter areas to make it blending properly. I'm trying to when I can fit it. When I can't fit it so easily, I don't worry too much. I'm just trying to make sure that I've basically got enough room to fit everything with all the colours that I want to fit in. So that's basically my goal here, is just to make sure that I can fit all of those colours like I want. It is. And I'll probably work out the stems of these, think about it as I go to and work it out as I go as well. And obviously I'll finish that little flat mushroom one that I showed that goes with these orange ones. I'll finish that one off, obviously off camera I will. So now what I want to do is I want to come in with my purple or violet, but I'm just going to sharpen it quickly. So that it's sharp, because we're going to need sharp points for this one. So we want to come in with our violet and we want to bring that over our sepia. Do. And trying to add little bits of light areas if we can to allow for blending. little section there where it is shadowed over, so just add that in. Just fix up any areas as you come across them, kind of thing, because you may not miss an area I do, or you may miss the same area, it all depends. So one thing I have noticed with Caran d'Ache, whilst they're amazing pencils that work really, really well, the colours are a little more limited in them. Like, it's just a 72 set, I think it is. Yeah, I think 72 set or 76 set, I'm not totally sure, but the colours are a bit more limited. Like, there's not as many purples and stuff as you'd find in the Faber-Castell polychromos, but at the same time they make up for it because they're such amazing pencils, and I really do enjoy using them. So I had someone message me on Instagram the other night asking about what is my favourite type of pencil to use, and it's like, well, I don't have a particular favourite, I like using them all, kind of thing, because each of the pencils have a different use, and it depends on what you're doing it for as to the type of use that you would use them for. It does. At least that's my opinion anyway. And I enjoy using all my different pencils for different types of projects or different mediums. Like colouring books, obviously I'm never going to show them to the sunlight or have them in the sunlight, so even if I use light fast pencils, then they're not particularly going to end up in the sun anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But also, colouring books means I can use any type of pencil that I'd like to, because I'm obviously not going to be displaying them in the sun. So it sort of, yeah, it varies depending on the mediums, but I like all my pencils that I have, and I don't have a particular favourite in any of them. I like them all. I do. Yeah, you can see what I'm doing. I thought for a minute there maybe you couldn't see properly what I was doing, but seems like you can, which is great. And then our next colour after that, because we're going with sort of a purpley sort of brown mushroom, I'm going to use a dusky colour. So I'm going to use what is a light aubergine in our Caran Luminance, and I want to bring that in over our violet and sepia. Because we sort of want that dusky browny sort of colour, if we can. And I'm just going to quickly pause for a minute and then come back, because I'm going to get this chicken on because it's still part frozen. And once I'm back, we'll keep going with finishing these little purpley sort of brown shrooms. So yeah, I will see you back shortly. So hey everyone, I'm back. So chicken's on cooking. I just had to put it in a frozen lump, and I'll have to separate it again in a bit. So yeah, so I'm going to keep going here with my light aubergine, which is basically like a light purple, eggplant purple kind of thing. And I want to bring that over my violet and my sepia colours, obviously leaving space for our final colour as best we can. And trying to do a little bit of light areas to allow for blending as well. If you can fit it anyway, just do the best you can. You may not fit everything because they're really small areas. It's a kind of a bit of a challenge for me as well, particularly with my wrist the way it is at the minute. But I'm kind of using this colour because it gives us a bit more of that sort of dusky browny purple sort of colour. Trying not to let your hands cramp and take up all the leftover white space. We want to leave that a little bit of space for our final colour. It is kind of awkward, I know, but just do our best. And there goes Lil barking again, rolls eyes, shakes head. She's always barking out there because of the next door neighbour's dogs, which are vicious, and then also she doesn't like people out there, and she's sort of, I guess, protective, but at the same time she's timid and she doesn't like people coming in, and she's not really happy with when people come in this area. She gets quite scared and stuff like that, so she's kind of a mix of both timid and protective, I guess you could say. She is. So that one's quite in shadow because of the way it goes, but it does look really, I was kind of hoping that light aubergine would show out a bit more because of the colour, but it's actually a lot darker than I realised it would be. So I really need to try and leave colour because it doesn't allow it to show like light source areas because it is a lot darker than I thought it was. I thought it was a lot lighter from my tests, but it's not as light as I thought it was, so I need to try and make sure I leave room for our final colour, or else we're not going to have a proper light source area on those mushrooms, which will look kind of odd in my opinion, and I won't be happy with it. So yeah, picky perfectionist comes out again. So I really need to make sure that I leave some room for that final colour there. Whoops, and I just did that line too far. I wasn't intending to do that, so I'll just have to adjust it slightly. Yeah, not quite how I wanted it, but I have to work with how it works, particularly when my hand does weird things with this brace. Like, it's not that I'm not controlling it, but when it cramps up or something, it just does a jerk and all of that sort of stuff. So whilst the brace helps with some things, it's not really helping with others. It's not. At least that's what I'm finding. And finally, our final colour here is Ultramarin pink. Or it's not with, doesn't have an E on the end, so that's why I said ultramarin, and guessing it's meant to be like ultramarine, but it's not ultramarine exactly, so I don't know for sure. And that area is really sort of smudged. There's some smudgy sort of colours that are on this brush, which don't help. I wasn't trying to smudge it, it just happened due to lead transferal and stuff from the pencil colours. So some don't look as light as I would like them to look, but hopefully it'll work out. Hopefully it will. To sharpen that a bit because it's getting a little blunt and it's making it harder to fill in those colours, and because the colours are also smudging, it's not looking as light, like it's got that light source there as much, which I really want it to look like it's got that bit of light source showing up, so I'm hoping it's showing up properly. Because I'm trying to colour these areas first because of the colour smudging into the other areas and stuff, so I want to make sure that light source area still shows through as much as possible. I do. So that is one thing that I noticed with the Caran Ash pencil, is that they blend in very well together and it is very easy to get your lighter colours in such small areas very sort of muddled up with the browns, because they do blend in so well together, and as a result you're really able to get those colours mixing in together. And yeah, as a result it basically means sometimes it doesn't look like you've got that light source there like you want, because the colours do blend in so well together. So I'm trying to do the best I can to get it to show, but it's not showing as well as I would like in some areas. It's not because the colours are blended too much in some spots. But I guess it is what it is. There's not much we can do about it. There isn't. Here we go. So I think I'm going to work on the stems next time. I'm not quite sure how I want to do some of those stems right now. So I want to sort of have a chance to sit and think about it. I've just discovered a little area I missed with the shadows, so I'm just quickly going to finish that off using all the colours we just used, because it is basically a shadow area of the mushroom. And yeah, so I'm going to think about that for now and come back to it, and yeah, I will see you later. Bye.